Hey Rachel, good progress here. I see that you figured out how to fix the image size. So anyway, I like what you've got going here. I have a few suggestions, of course. So in terms of the barn, you may want to make it a bit smaller. It's kind of competing with your caricature. It's, let me see here. Make it a little bit smaller. And then it will really also appear to be more in the background. You could put it, where's the green? You could also put, whoops, shoot. You could put the barn like this too. Then it's gonna look like it has more depth. Another thing you might want to consider is to find an image that has kind of a rolling hill. So if you, if you go to Google image search, so if you search, like I just did, grassy hill background, you're going to get bigger images. So you might want to put something that has more of a curve. This is a little bit small. This is pretty big here. This is 5,000 pixels. That would be fine. That one's too small. 1600, 1300. So again, you want to get one pretty, pretty large pixel size. So again, it'll make your composition a lot more interesting. Something like this kind of grass too also works. Though I think if you get something, something like this, I think that it's going to really make your caricature, just look a lot cooler. So, yeah, just do, and as long as you get a big enough one, there's tons, you can also do, grassy hill wallpaper. That's another way to get bigger images too. So again, you can kind of see some of these, and this one, even in terms of you wanting to make a night thing, that's a little bit small size. But again, you can find, some of these other. I would go for a very simple one. The reason is that your caricature is the main event. You really want to make it stand out the most. You don't. I would even, for the time being, turn off these flowers. And then if you want to add some later, you can, you can work them in at the last minute. But I'm just going to turn them all off. You can put them in one folder too, because the thing is that again, it's getting too complicated, and it's just not allowing your caricature to stand out all that much. Another suggestion, even now it looks a lot better without the extra flowers, because it really allows us to stand out. And you can see with a rolling hill, I think that it would, this is just a harsh line right here. So another thing is your drop shadow. Those never work to do much, unfortunately. So you can still use the shadow, but do a perspective transformation on it. I'm going to show you a site. Actually, I'll post it too. Here it is. It's just how to create a realistic cast shadow in Photoshop, and you end up with something like this. And it's pretty easy to do. But again, it's just going to make your, it's going to really ground your caricature into the background. And the way it is with these kind of shadows is, it makes it look flat. You really need to get this back in with all the layer masks. That's really important. I can't really do anything to your caricature now. I can't show you anything because all the layers are compressed. So if you could post that, soon, that would be really great, because I can't even go in and really do anything. And there's also some issues with the masks that you need to continue working on. They're pretty rough. This is also quite pixelated too. So, yeah, the masks really could use some work. I love your apple head. The leaves look really cool. So need to see all the layers here. Yeah, really important. It also says it in the instructions. For your text, I would suggest also going to dafont.com and look for some other kinds of fonts that'll look really cool. So, when you first come here, and they're free and really easy to So let's say you want to look at something like Groovy. I don't know. I'm just going to show you a few. There's so many cool fonts. I would never use something this complicated, but even something like this Flowers Kingdom. And again, there's so many of them. I mean, you can spend hours looking, and you can see there's 21 pages just under this one category. So, decorative. You don't want to use anything too decorative. I don't know. I even brought that up. Techno, even though you probably don't want to use techno either. Curly. So again, that's a little bit too. You don't want to make it too decorative, but you also want to make it so it really adds a nice complement. This font is a little bit generic, so I would continue working with it. We're going to be doing more with the type next week. And another thing is when you do the type, put each word on a different layer. Then you can move it around and you can size it. As I've showed you a couple times before in the last where's the examples? Dun, 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 dun. So if you study some of these images I posted before, you can see there's two different fonts. And she added some styles that you can add, and you can change them too. So again, it's really a good idea to put each word on a different line, and then of course you can start mixing it up. It doesn't even have to be the same font. They don't have to be the same size. It's just kind of a nice challenge with the typography. Okay, so anyway, yeah, feel free to you can post any revisions during the break, or you can contact me on Hangouts and we can discuss your work. And I can give you feedback too during the break, even though we really aren't supposed to be working or whatever. So again, yeah, use it as a way to get caught up. But even before that, before you put your work in the final Dropbox, need to see all the layers here with the layer masks. That's really important. It's a pretty big pointing. So okay, so anyway, so far so good. Just need to see some things, just continue to make progress on. Okay, so have a great holiday, by the way. And again, yeah, I'll be around. So just grab me.